Support for this NPR podcast and the following message come from Fox Searchlight, presenting The Shape of Water. From visionary filmmaker Guillermo del Toro comes an otherworldly fable about the unpredictable nature of love. The Shape of Water, now playing in select theaters.
Hey, it's Guy Raz here, host of How I Built This, with a quick recommendation. Every holiday weekend comes with a lot of waiting, traffic, airport security lines. And so while you're waiting, why don't you just binge on How I Built This? Each episode, I speak with a founder of a company who has an incredible story of how it all began. You can find How I Built This on the NPR One app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. Don't worry, folks. I know it looks bad, but I'm completely treatable. Bill Curtis. And here's your host at the Chase Bank Auditorium in Chicago, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, everybody. It is Thanksgiving this week, a particularly American holiday that was founded not by the Pilgrims, as some think, but by Abraham Lincoln, who decreed a national day for people to use as an excuse to take the week off and broadcast old bits from their radio shows.
He was our most forward-thinking president.
We begin our celebration of the holiday in the traditional way with an interview with Olympic champion skier Hannah Carney, who we met in Salt Lake City earlier this year.
Thank you so much.
So you live here in Salt Lake City, which of course is a winter sports mecca, but you did not grow up here.
I did not. I grew up skiing on ice in Vermont.
Right. And is that why you became a mogul skier? Because you couldn't find a decent groomed run anywhere in Vermont?
It certainly built character, and it honed my turns. It made skiing in Utah much easier.
Wow, yeah. Well, I should probably explain, because not everybody knows what mogul skiing is. So you're skiing, you're going around these many, many, many bumps in the course, and then every now and then you hit a jump, you go flying in the air, you do a somersault or something impressive, you land, you keep going.
Yep,
yeah.
And then it's also timed.
Right. So first of all, how old were you when you started skiing? I
was 2 years old when my parents put my 2-year-old body inside of a horse halter and let me go down the slopes, and I don't remember learning how to ski.
Really?
Yep.
So, you have no memory of yourself before you knew how to ski?
Correct.
Wow.
You were in the horse halter? Were they riding you? What
the whip. That's why I became a good skier. Just kidding, Mom and Dad.
So when you get in a car, do you love streets with a lot of potholes when you're driving? It's sort of the same thing, right?
Yeah. Those you'd be dodging. Moguls, you're going straight over them, but similar.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
no backflips.
Now,
in the car.
This is a relatively new competitive sport, right? Because ski racing classically was just downhill and slalom and giant slalom. And when did they start adding these sort of crazy new types of skiing to the international circuit?
At the Olympic level, it was 1992 for our sport, and they've been, as you've seen, adding more crazier sports year after year. In my sport alone, I was, I think, 16 years old when I had to just start learning backflips because someone, his name was Johnny Mosley, decided he was going to push the sport and make it so that all future generations were going to have to learn crazy flips and maneuvers. They're not as dangerous as they sound, but I don't think that's what my parents thought when they first heard. And there's certainly nothing I was interested in doing when I signed up for mogul skiing, meeting my dad at Tower 8 and skiing bumps. I wanted to keep my feet on the ground.
Can I ask you something? You keep talking about you didn't want to do the acrobatics and so on. Was there a point when you realized, wow, I'm really good at this? I mean, you were the best in the world and you didn't want to do it. What if you had focused?
We might never know.
You might never know.
I tricked myself into thinking I liked them. I put little Post-its in my room at the Olympic Training Center that said, I love jumping.
Really?
And it's only now that I would admit that I didn't really like it because it's all over.
That was your self-motivation program?
It worked.
I thought you guys had multi-$1,000 sports psychologists.
Nothing's better than a Post-it.
Post-it,
it's
okay.
World's shortest TED Talk.
Exactly. Now, you've skied in 2 Olympics, 2010 and... excuse me!
But the first one was so unsuccessful that it would be better off if we just...
Where was that?
Torino, Italy in 2006.
Yeah, and then you came back in 2010, and you won gold. Yeah, that was where exactly? That was
Vancouver.
That was a final at the Olympics. We have all heard that the Olympic Village is like an absolute decadent Roman orgy all the time. That is what they tell us. And they say, well, young athletes, they're away from home.
No, they're going at it like sled dogs.
Exactly. What comment can you make about that, shall we say, stereotype of Olympic villages?
I can make a couple comments.
All right.
I will start with the rumor, which was there's a bowl of condoms at like the health center.
That's what we hear about.
In the athlete village.
Yeah.
And they disappear quickly. So I was like, oh my goodness, these are being put to use. But let me ask you this. If you were at the Olympics and there were Olympic condoms, wouldn't you take one?
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. So there are Olympic branded little 5 rings on the condoms?
I never opened it, so I'm not positive.
All
but
right.
they come in all the colors of the
course
Olympic
they do.
rings.
And they work so well, there's a flame at the tip.
I know.
You might be onto something.
Hannah Carney, it is a pleasure to talk to you. We have asked you here to play a game we're calling
I am the master of all I survey.
You Ski Moguls. So we thought we would ask you about the other kind of moguls, business moguls. Answer 2 of these 3 questions correctly. You'll win our prize for one of our listeners. Bill, who is Hannah playing for?
Kyle Trotter of Salt Lake City, Utah.
All right. First question. Ready to do this?
Ready.
All right. Samuel Goldwyn was one of the great movie moguls, and he was famous for his odd turns of phrase known around Hollywood as Goldwynisms, including, at least allegedly, which of these? A, when told he couldn't make a movie from a book because it was about lesbians, he said, it's okay, we'll make them Hungarians instead. Or B, quote, my own personal theory is that the pyramids were built to store grain. Or C, quote, people are not as stupid as the media think they are. Many of them are stupid, but I'm talking about overall.
C.
You're going to go for C?
Yep.
No, that was actually said by Ben Carson, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. The real answer was A, the one about the lesbians.
Second choice.
Yeah.
So what was it?
No, so the first one about the Hungarians was Samuel Goldwyn. The other 2 about the pyramids storing grain and people are, in fact, stupid. That's Ben Carson, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
He would recognize stupid.
Okay, Hannah, you got 2 more chances. Here's your next question. Working for a mogul can be pretty dangerous, as in which of these cases? A, cosmetics mogul Vidal Sassoon required that his employees never wear bike helmets, which might cover their silky, lustrous hair. B, in the early days at Ben & Jerry's, ice cream mogul Ben Cohen used to make employees eat new flavors as fast as possible to test brain freeze. Or C, in order to test the quality of his wares, bulletproof clothing mogul Miguel Caballero shoots all of his employees in the chest.
Well, Ben & Jerry's is a Vermont company, and I'm a Vermonter, and their motto was, if it's not fun, why do it? And that didn't sound fun. A.
You're going to go for A, which is that Vidal Sassoon told people they could never wear bike helmets no matter what they were doing.
Ooh, I don't...
Can I poll the audience?
You can do whatever the hell you want.
I already heard, so C.
C it is. Very good. Did you know that? That's great. All right. Last question. If you get this right, you win. One of the most famous moguls we have today is, of course, Rupert Murdoch. He made his first fortune in Australia, and then he moved to the UK in the 1960s, buying the then struggling tabloid The Sun. He turned its fortunes around by telling its editor what? A, quote, focus on football, footballers' girlfriends, and things that look like footballs. B, if you use a word longer than 3 syllables, you're fired. Or C, I want a paper with lots of boobs in it.
How could you prove he didn't say any of those things?
Well,
like she's going to be right whatever she answers.
I do. I like that.
I like
option.
your thinking.
They all sound possible.
They do, but
I mean, is there like you have a transcript of everything he's ever said?
According to his biography, he said one of those things.
Oh, had I read his biography? Has anyone read his biography? Really?
Tell you what,
that would be absolutely not my choice.
it's funny. You don't have to read his biography. You just have to read an issue of The Sun.
why the audience in my ear is saying C.
And it is C.
Thank you. Well done.
Bill, how did Hannah Carney do in our quiz?
Well, of course she won. 2 out of 3.
Thanks for the help.
Congratulations. Hannah Carney is an Olympic gold medal winning skier who just finished her junior year at Westminster College here in Salt Lake City. Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. And what they don't tell me, give it up for Hannah Carney.
Among the things we're giving thanks for, snack foods. Here's a question for our panel. Never before aired, recorded earlier this year.
Helen, in New York's swanky Tribeca neighborhood, a new restaurant called the Spotted Cheetah will open. Their specialty is dishes made with what?
The Spotted Cheetah specializes in things that a cheetah would eat, like antelope.
No. I mean, they'll have dishes, we presume, like flamin' hot foie gras.
Oh, things that are made with Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Yes, Cheetos is the answer.
What?
It's all Cheeto-based cuisine. Dishes include Cheetos meatballs, Flamin' Hot mac and Cheetos, Cheetos crusted cheesecake, and sweet cheeses. Why am I eating this? Entrees do cost up to $22, which would be a relevant fact to share with you all if there was a chance in hell anybody was ever going to go to the Spotted Cheetah.
This will bring Trump back to Manhattan.
It will be. No, it's a collaboration between the Cheetos brand and celebrity chef Anne Burrell, which raises the question, why do so many people you've never heard of call themselves celebrity chefs?
Yeah, I saw a picture of this chef, and she sort of seemed like the female Guy Fieri.
That explains a lot.
And is this a
premise.
stunt restaurant? I mean, it's
a kind of a stunt restaurant, but I think, they expect to make it work. People really like Cheetos. Remember the Doritos Taco Loco, which had the taco shell made of Dorito?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that made Taco Bell like $400 million.
What?
$300 million just from me when I was drunk.
Exactly. When we come back, a never-before-heard Bluff the Listener game, and also an interview with Andrew Zimmern, host of Bizarre Foods. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR. Support for this podcast and the following message comes from Bose. When you listen to podcasts, whether you're in the mood for a good laugh, a political debate, or an inspirational success story, you can enjoy your podcast any way you want with Bose QC35 wireless headphones, too. You'll be free from noise and free from wires, so go ahead. Geek out, laugh out loud, do your thing. To learn more, visit Bose.com/wait. Bose, get closer.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Bill Curtis, and here again is your host at the Chase Bank Auditorium in Chicago, Peter Sagal.
Thank you so much. This week, while we lie around in a haze of tryptophan poisoning, we look back at a time when we were slightly more alert, when we visited Minneapolis in October of this year.
Here's Peter with Faith Seeley, Mo Rocca, and Tom Bodette in a show we've never aired before.
Hi, you were on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Chelsea from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Chelsea, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. What do you do there in Bethlehem?
I am the director of an LGBT student center at a university here.
Well, that's great. And how are things there on campus? Everybody's feeling good? Everybody's feeling empowered? Or everybody's sort of...
Everything is great. Yeah, it's a beautiful fall in Pennsylvania, and the students are stressed as usual, but things are good.
That's great to hear. Well, Chelsea, welcome to the show. You're going to play our game in which you must try to tell truth from fiction. Bill, what is Chelsea's topic?
Here, bunny.
Bunnies! Rabbits! They're soft and lovable, and when you cut off their foot, they bring you luck. This week, we saw a remarkable story in the news about bunnies. Our panelists are each going to tell you about it. Only one of them, of course, is telling the truth. Pick that one. You will win our prize, Chelsea, the voice of your choice on your voicemail. Are you ready to play?
Sounds good.
All right. Your first story of bunnies in the news is from Mo Rocca.
When Bemidji, Minnesota mom Carol Bagnoli decided to stop breastfeeding her son Jack, she faced a dairy dilemma. Cow's milk was too high in lactose, camel milk too low in protein. almond milk was bad for the environment.